Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our session today. Today, we are presenting the CTS College and OVS Canadian High School Diploma program, and this is available now to persons in Trinidad and Tobago. So before I get started, just wanted to start asking just a few questions as an icebreaker. If you won't mind sharing with me, what's your reason for considering this program, or why are you here today? Would any one of you share why you're here today? Bradley?
Hi.
Hi. Good day.
Sorry. Good afternoon. Sorry, I was just trying to organize it. My phone giving a little bit of trouble.
It's no problem. What are you hoping to get at the end of today's session? Is it that you expected you're here because you want to simply find out more? Is it that you're interested in gaining a Canadian diploma? Is it that you're interested in migrating to Canada? So you're hoping this could be a pathway, maybe
Yes,
in
detail
a
one.
university? All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. Anybody else?
No problem.
Darian, Ganesh, Hollis, Jared, Jenny, any one of you?
Yeah, I'm interested in migrating, so.
Migrating? All right,
Yeah.
very much. What about the rest of you? Anyone else?
I'm more so interested in doing this so I could get university access.
Gotcha. Thanks so much. When we've surveyed persons in the past as well, we found that the most popular reason persons actually enroll in the program or actually interested in the program is because of migration to Canada, because the program as well helps in terms of the point system for those migrating to Canada. It provides useful points, and then you're also going there with a Canadian qualification, which makes it a lot easier as well, right? So those are some of the reasons persons would have selected in the past. So let's take a look at the presenters. So first of all, in terms of presenters, I'm your main presenter. My name is Ravi Raghunath. We have Dwayne Matthews from the OVS. However, Dwayne won't be able to join us today, but I'll be doing a presentation today. All right. My name is, as I said, my name is Ravi Raghunath, and this is my email address here as well. You can use study@CTS College to reach out to us. Now, what are we going to cover in today's session? So for today's session, we look at what is the Canadian High School Diploma. We'd also look at things such as why consider Canadian High School Diploma? And I think many of you already started answering those questions as well. We'd look at why consider CTS College, because you can do this directly online as well. Why OVS? How is this program structured, and what am I going to learn, right? How will I be assessed if I'm enrolling it? What kind of support will you guys provide? How much is this going to cost me? When can I start, and what's the process to apply? Good. So this is a bit about some of the things we'll cover. And of course, I'll answer any other questions you have as we go along. Now, I'm more than happy to field your questions as we go along. So if I don't know something, I'll get back to you with it, right? At the same time, my intent is to answer as many questions as possible. You don't need to wait until the end of the session to ask questions. I'm more than happy for you to ask a question as you go along, just as if you remember. Now, one thing, if the question you ask is going to be covered later on, I'll just indicate that to you and I'll cover it later on in detail. However, if the question is not covered in the slide, then I will simply answer it at the point when you ask as well, right? So these are some of the things we will cover. Today's session should run for roughly 1 hour or so, okay? Now, in terms of what is a Canadian High School Diploma, well, we're already familiar in Trinidad with a secondary school certificate, right? When you complete CSEC, you have a secondary school certificate. In Canada, students who complete high school, known as secondary school, they will earn a high school diploma. Now, in Ontario specifically, so Toronto is in Ontario, Ontario is a province. So in Ontario, students will receive the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, known as OSSD. The Ontario Secondary School Diploma is a Canadian High School Diploma. So each province may have their own diploma as well, but these are all part of a high school diploma that you get upon completing high school in Canada. Now, the diploma is issued by the Ministry of Education in Ontario. So the Ontario Ministry of Education is the one who issues the diploma, not OVS. So OVS doesn't grant you the diploma. We are simply, just like if you're doing CXC in Trinidad, you enroll at a school, you go to a secondary school, or you can study privately. But at the end, CXC is the one who's issuing the certificate. They are the ones who's preparing the exams, etc. So similarly here, the Ontario Ministry of Education is the one who's doing the assessment, etc. OVS is simply a school preparing you to undertake the assessment, and CTS is working with OVS to do that, right? Now, in terms of having a high school diploma in Canada, it's considered as the minimum academic requirement when you're applying for jobs in Canada. Now, this high school diploma is equivalent to CAPE or A levels, right? So it's equivalent to CAPE or A level and is used to gain entry into universities both in Canada and around the world. So you can actually use this qualification to gain access to universities in pretty much any part of the world. Now, it also increases your score for immigration, right? Where you can get 30 points to completing the high school diploma. However, that also is taken consideration with some other stuff that you have as well, right? But having the high school diploma assists in terms of immigration to Canada. Now, in terms of why consider Canadian High School Diploma, many of you would have already answered these when I started with the icebreaker. For some of you, you're here to learn more about the Canadian High School Diploma, but for many of you, the reason why people do the Canadian High School Diploma is to migrate to Canada. That's been the most popular reason we've gotten. Some students are using it as an alternative to CAPE or A levels. Others are using it as a progression route to a Canadian undergraduate degree or even an undergraduate degree at other universities, including UWI. UWI also accepts Canadian High School Diploma. It also enhances your chance of scholarship opportunities as well. And if you're seeking an international diploma, then definitely this is an option as well, right? So these are some of the reasons why you should consider choosing the Canadian High School Diploma. Now, why consider CTS College? It is a local school, of course, right? But let me share a little bit about CTS College for you guys as well. Now, CTS College is a private education provider. We've been in the education industry for over 22 years. We are ACTT recognized and we also registered with the Ministry of Education. We offer programs from preschool to secondary, from preschool to primary to secondary. We also offer tertiary courses, including diploma degrees and an MBA as well. We also offer a range of professional certification courses or micro-credential courses as well. So we offer basically education from the cradle to the grave, if you want to call it that. Our focus is where experience is beyond academics, and this is because our focus really is on the student experience. We believe that school is more than just about academics, but it's really an experience that we should all remember. Wonderful memories we should have, and that's our role. Is not just about providing education, but really providing an experience, which includes your education as well. Some noteworthy facts about CTS. I'll call this our bragging page, if you want to call it that, right? We've won over 106 AB World Prizes since 2007. An AB World Prize is given to the student with the highest mark in a subject in the world. And we've had over 106 World Prize winners since 2007. In fact, in the last 6 years, CTS College has won more AB World Prizes than any other school in Trinidad. Apart from that, we also work with different universities in the UK, including University of Hertfordshire and Bedfordshire. Now, Bedfordshire doesn't award subject prizes, but we've been invigilating them to award prizes to top student overall because their program is offered across the globe, same as University of Hertfordshire. However, what the University of Hertfordshire does, their students are enrolled from directly in the UK, as well as partner institutions like CTS College and other colleges across the world. What they've done in their programs, they look at all the schools and identify the top student. And what they do is they award the top overall student in a cohort with the top student award. So there are 3 cohorts per year. And this year, 2022, CTS College won all 3 awards. That's an amazing accomplishment to have the top student in over 600 students globally, right? In the program who's graduating from the program. We've won all 3 for each of the 3 cohorts. We've won over 50 university awards from the University of Hertfordshire. So this is really an amazing accomplishment for us. It's a really important, what it says to us as well is kind of support that we provide, the dedication of the teachers. We have fantastic students as well. So this is not just about us, but we're really blessed to have some of those students we have as well. But certainly our teachers go above and beyond as well to make that student experience something far greater than it is. It should be, it normally is, and also to provide that sort of academic excellence. We've also won awards with ABMA and with AIB as well. And we've won 11 awards with the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, previously, the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, when the budget, when they had budgetary funding to do so, they provided what you call a QUITE award, which is a Quality in Tertiary Education Award. They haven't been doing that for a while simply because of budget cuts, etc. But they would award schools based on certain categories. Now, they had 3 categories: student support services, excellence quality management system, excellence in teaching and learning. And CTS College has won more ACTT awards than any other school. That's really a big, incredible achievement for us, because we would have won more awards than like UE, UTT, etc. And to be recognized by ACTT in granting these awards. Now, please note, in each category, they would have done it by size, and then they had it open. So they'd give one top award in each category. So to win the award is really an amazing accomplishment. The one I value the most is the one for student support services, because student support is really the heart of CTS College. We've also won awards for both excellence in established quality management system, as well as excellence in teaching and learning as well. Now, why OVS, right? This is a Canadian High School Diploma. You have many other options available as well to you, right? So let's talk a little bit about OVS. OVS started in 2010, so they're in their 12th year of operation. But what is so amazing about OVS is their growth rate and their acceptance rate, as well as the really positive reviews they get. Like, for example, on Google, they have a 4.9 out of 5-star rating. That's incredible for an institution to have. They have over 20,000 active students enrolled in the program. They have partnerships both internally and outside of Canada as well. Their programs consist of, they have over 160 courses available. It's totally online, right? So they're offering a Canadian High School Diploma that is totally online. So you can do it from anywhere in the world, right? And they've issued over 40,000 credits issued to students over the years as well. As I said, they have students in 114 different countries as well. But what is really wonderful is that 98% of their graduates are accepted into top-ranked universities in Canada and outside of Canada as well, right? So these are some wonderful things about OVS. Questions, if you like? Any question? All right, so continuing. In terms of OVS, as well as I indicated, they were founded in 2010, so they have over 12 years of experience. They are accredited by the Ontario Secondary School, the Ontario Ministry of Education, and they are able to provide them, because they're accredited, they can provide the Ontario Secondary School Diploma credits, right? And they're one of the largest virtual high schools in Canada. They're actually experiencing a growth of over 50% each year. That's amazing for a company to grow that well. Now, why Canadian? Why OVS? Now, these are some really positive things about a Canadian qualification. I wasn't fully aware until we started this program and I started liaising with OVS. Did you know that Canadian has the highest post-secondary educated population in the world? According to OVS and their research, Canada has the highest post-secondary educated population at 50%. You imagine 50% of the population has a qualification higher than secondary school? That's really amazing, right? In Trinidad, we are seeing more and more students being qualified after A-levels as well, but to have such a high population being qualified, that's really amazing. And I think that's why part of, if you look at the Canadian immigration policy as well, if you're a professional, you have a degree, etc., Canada is more willing to accept you as well. And all of that contributes to their high percent of population having a higher qualification as well. Ontario specifically has the highest post-secondary educated population within Canada. And 98% of the OVS has a 98% post-secondary acceptance rate, meaning that 98% of university accept their students based on their scores, etc. I indicated as well, they have students in over 114 countries, Trinidad being one of the many countries. So you have people in Australia, in Russia, in Canada, in America, in South America, all over the world, in Africa, Europe, etc., all over the world studying this Canadian qualification as well. For many of them, it's an opportunity to migrate to the UK, but for many of them as well, it allows them opportunities to progress to, like, even if they want to do a UK qualification or a UK degree or some Canadian degree as well, it provides them with the required entry requirements to do so. Let's take a comparison, look at the Ontario Secondary School Diploma compared to A-level and the Ontario, right? So we're comparing with the A-level since we are more familiar with that. In terms of global ranking, the Ontario Secondary School Diploma is ranked 6th in the world according to a PISA study done in 2018, whereas A-level is ranked 22nd in the world. It takes 1 year or less to complete the Ontario Secondary School Diploma if you are 15 years and over, right? And I'll guide you through that whole process. And in fact, I'll show you how you can do it in 7 months as well. Whereas A-level takes typically 2 years to complete. So you're taking 2 years to complete A-levels, you can take as little as 7 months to complete the Ontario Secondary School Diploma and have access to the same set of features after. The Ontario Secondary School Diploma as well is assessed via a combination of coursework and final exam. So it's 70% of it is term work and 30% of it is final exam. Whereas A-level is exam only, and that exam is done at the end of first year and also at the end of second year, right? In terms of their graduation rate is extremely high, whereas in A-level, there's many dropout after the first year of A-levels as well. In terms of university acceptance, the Ontario Secondary School Diploma has a 98% acceptance rate into universities, whereas A-level has a 75% acceptance rate. So note the following as well, right? So some of the features of the OVS is that it provides a Canadian High School Diploma. So if you enroll in the OVS program, the OVS is the Ontario Virtual School, and that's the school that provides the qualification. So we are basically working with Ontario Virtual School to offer the Canadian High School Diploma. All of your courses will be available online, and there are more than 160 courses available to choose from. All courses are accessible online, as I indicated, but delivered by Ontario certified teachers. So your teachers are certified by the Ontario Certified Teachers Board. You can study at your own pace. So if you want to do this over a longer period, you don't have to rush it. You can take as long as you like, right? Ideally 7 years to complete. Each course can be completed in as little as 4 weeks. So you have up to 1 year to finish one course once you've enrolled in it. But the truth is you can complete a course in as little as 4 weeks. So if you start a course, you do one course at a time, you do one course in 4 weeks, you complete that course. Then in another 4 weeks, you complete your second course, another 4 weeks, you complete your third course. In 7 months, you would have completed these 7 units, right, in grade 12 and completed the program. So it can be completed in as little as 7 months. Now, please note, you can even complete it less than that, but I'm not pushing for it. So our advertising is really geared at finishing in as little as 7 months. But the truth is, you can finish all of it in a shorter period of time. But that's if you do multiple subjects at a time. So let's say you want to do 3 subjects or 2 subjects per month. Then in 1 month you do 2, another month you do 2, and another month you do maybe 3. You can finish in 3 months if you wanted to. But the reality is that we are encouraging students to do 1 at a time. Right? So when you have to study only 1 subject you have to do, you could easily mix this with your busy lifestyle and be able to complete the program as well. There's a 98% university acceptance rate and a 99% 5-star Google rating as well. These are some of the universities, the major Canadian universities you can find OVS student. Of course, there are lots more universities as well, but these are just some of them. So you have University of Toronto, right? You have University of Waterloo, McMaster University, McGill, etc. So there's a bunch of different universities, York, etc., where students are enrolled in who have completed the OVS program. I'm sure you're familiar with some of these, especially if you're looking at studying in Canada as well, right? These are likely one of the schools you might progress to after completing your OVS qualification. So note there are many other OVS students in these programs as well. Now, how is the OVS program structured? Well, here's how it works, right? Now, based on your age, it will determine which level you start. right? So I'm going to do a mapping between the form system that we use in Trinidad with the grade system that they use in Canada, right? So typically, you're 14 years old. If you're 14 years old, you're in Form 3, then that will be grade 9. If you are 15 years old, you're typically in Form 4, and that will be grade 10 in OVS. If you're 16 years old, that's equivalent to Form 5 in Trinidad, and that's equivalent to grade 11 in Canada. If you're over 16, then ideally you'll be in A levels, and that's equivalent to grade 12 in OVS. OVS just has up to grade 12, right? So grade 12 is equivalent to A levels on our side. So if you're 16 years old, if you're over 16 years old, you can start directly in grade 12. Now, depending on when students start their studies with OVS, right, you will get exempted based on your previous qualifications, etc., right? Now, each level of the program, there are mandatory courses and the optional courses. And you can select your optional courses based on your area of interest. So if you wanted to study law, you choose courses along the line of law. If you want to study business management, you choose courses along that line, etc., right? Now, these are for the different grades. These are the different courses, right? So for example, if you're starting at, just 1 second. If you are starting at grade 9, then your first year, your courses in grade 9 will be these courses listed on the screen here. I'm just going to get the highlighter, sorry, the laser pointer. So if you're really in grade 9, you'll start with these here. Then you move on to these. These are the compulsory ones, and then you have optional, then you have compulsory, and you have optional, etc. And this is your fourth year. So this is grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. If you're starting at grade 10, then this is grade 10, this is grade 11, and then this is grade 12. Of course, if you start at grade 11, you'll start here, and then this is grade 12. And if you're enrolling directly into grade 12, you'll be granted exemptions or 23 credit equivalents, and you have these units to do in your grade 12. So these are the units you are doing in grade 12. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units you have to do. All right, 7 units you'll be required to do to complete your grade 12. Most persons I've spoken to so far would be starting directly into grade 12, right? Once you're 16 years or older. Now, in terms of the subjects, right, early on here, just 1 second. So in terms of specializing now, let's say you wanted to specialize. So when you join the program, you would choose these courses, these optional courses, based on the area you want to specialize after. Like for example, in A levels, if you wanted to study, let's say medicine, then you'd probably select subjects that are in line with medicine in A level, right? For example, you might do maths, biochem, or something like that. If you wanted to study maybe you know, like social sciences, then you will choose your subjects accordingly, or your business courses, depending on what it is you want to study. So these are some areas. If you want to specialize in these areas, these are some courses you may want to consider. So for example, if you want to study computer studies, you will do English, which is mandatory, advanced functions, calculus, physics, chemistry, and some optional courses. If you want to study business, then you will do English, advanced function, calculus, economics, international business, and some other optional ones as well. And if you want to do engineering, you might do English, advanced function, calculus, physics, chemistry, and some optional courses as well. So these are some of the options, like based on what you want to choose. Of course, if you're not seeing what you'd like to do on the list here, don't worry, we will have a session to assist you as well in choosing your subjects, right? So we will have what we call like a counseling session, if you want to call it that, where we meet, or a guidance session to help you in terms of choosing your courses as you're ready to enroll in the program. Now, it's an alternative to sixth form, which means, but it means that you're completing this in a lot less time, 7 months compared to 2 years, and you have a higher success rate. Now, if you've completed CSEC, you could enroll directly in grade 12. You just have 7 subjects to complete to earn your Canadian High School Diploma. All right. If you haven't completed CSEC, right, you can be granted equivalence courses, and you might have to take 14 courses, which is grade 11 and grade 12, depending, right? But ideally, once you completed high school, you should be able to get directly into grade 12, especially as a mature candidate. Now, in order to qualify now once you finish the studies, how do you get the secondary school diploma? Well, to get a secondary school diploma, note the following, right? The secondary school diploma is granted by the Ontario Ministry of Education. So students must complete the following. So you must complete 30 credits, including 18 compulsory and 12 optional. But remember, you will be granted exemptions. So those exemptions will count. So you just have 7 to do in the final year based on where you're starting, right? And that will achieve all of these. You must do 40 hours of community involvement. What community involvement means is that, for example, anything you do of freely. For example, you might help persons at home in age. You might help with a function. Anything you do that is not for money is considered as community involvement. You might help to cut your neighbor yard, if you want to call it that. You might be in church and actively involved in one of the groups that you assist with, right? Things like these, all of those are community involvement, and all of those add time. So all you will need to do is just get a letter from the relevant person to support the fact that you would have done so many hours of work with them at no cost, and then you would be able to gain the community involvement hours. And the reason for it is because the Ontario Secondary or Ministry of Education are trying to equip students so that you don't just have a secondary school diploma, but you also involve in community development as well. They're trying to make better citizens of the individuals as well by getting them more involved in community work, contributing and donating their time to help others as well. Okay, so you may have to do the secondary school literacy test, which is OSSLT, right? So that's one of the courses you'll have to do as well, just in case. So what would you learn as part of this program? So we've covered some of the courses as well earlier on, right? So we said that OVS has over 160 courses that you can choose from. Some of these include science, business, computing, psychology, language, tourism. There's a whole range of courses you can choose from. There's also a French immersion program if you're interested. And there's international language courses as well. Okay. Naturally, if you've completed the OVS, you'll have increased access to universities, colleges, and post-secondary opportunities as well. Okay. There's also a free high school transition module for person who's looking at doing the program. So our recommendation is that once you're interested and you're ready to start, you can make an appointment with an OVS student support staff. I will coordinate that for you as well to guide you through your career options. Now, the thing is that we can assist you in doing that. So we don't necessarily need to do it with an OVS staff, but if you need to, we can arrange that as well. You then select the course you wish to study, right? You may select just one course to start with. Now, once you select a course, you have to finish that course within 12 months. My strong recommendation to students is don't select all 7 right away. Start with one, learn the system first, learn how the course works, right? Make sure you know that it fits in well with your time, because in theory, it should fit in easily because you are studying at your own pace. Then, ideally, we recommend you complete the course in as little as 4 weeks or so. And then once you've completed the course, you'll do the assessment as you go along with the course. And for the final exam, we have to arrange now to set the final exam. The final exam will be done at CTS. So for the course is studied online, but to write the exam, you'll have to write the exam. It must be proctored, meaning that you must be an invigilator. So it's done face-to-face for the 30% exam, and it can be done at CTS College, right? So, and that's one course. Once you have basically, gotten through the ropes, then you can start your next course, and you can add more courses if you wish, because you have a fair idea how it works. I always recommend start with the easiest course to get familiar with the system as well, and quick win. Now, in terms of the OVS platform now, right? This is a bit about what you'll find in OVS, right? Now, they use, as part of their learning, OVS uses mixed reality and 3D technology to help, because it is found that videos and mixed reality simulation, all of these here increases learning up to 20%, right? So OVS uses 3D and mixed reality technology to help in terms of improved learning. When you see pictures and images and videos of how things work, it makes learning a lot easier because you can better understand concepts that are typically difficult or considered complex. Apart from that, you can pace yourself throughout your journey. You determine how fast you can go. As I said, 4 weeks is the recommended duration. If you want to take longer, you can take longer. It's totally up to you. Just know that you determine how long you take to complete, because that power is in your hands. Okay, so you can self-pace, meaning you study at your own pace. right? You could set time for exams, right? And you have access to a number of micro assessment as well to increase your success also. Apart from that, the system is very much user-friendly. So it's designed to keep students motivated. It guides you in terms of where you are throughout your journey. So you can see here that you've done unit 1, 2 out of 2, etc. And it tells you which one you've done. So you've completed 4 out of 6 here, right? And of course, you can see announcements and other stuff as well as you go along. Now, apart from that too, you can keep track of your progress in your different units. So these are different units as well. So you can keep track of where you are with the different units. So you have how much days remaining. So it tells you your time, right? So you remember you have a year to complete it, right? We recommend you complete it in 4 weeks, right? It tells you what your current score is, right? How many evaluations you have done, that sort of thing, and which lesson you're in. So it guides you using a friendly interface, telling you exactly where you are. And from here, you can click to go to your lessons and you can view your lessons as well, right? So in terms of the lesson feature, right, what you have is you have all of OVS lessons are voice and video narrated to help improve student engagement and student focus. All right. So we have varied assessment as well. So in terms of how you're going to be assessed, they use a range of assessment method. And we found that when you exams often has the lowest pass rate. So they OVS use a range of assessment method. For example, which we'll talk about shortly as well. We look at a sample assessment or sample lesson as well. This is an example here where you'll have text, you can have videos, etc. as well, right? You'll have e-textbook, practice tests and exams, online tracking and communication tool as well to help with students learning, right? But there's a range of assessment methods as well. And we're going to look at one of these in terms of the lesson as well. In fact, let me just share one of my screen with you so that you can actually see on OVS. Right, so let's take a look at one of their lessons. So let's say we wanted to start here.
Unit 1, Structure and Properties of Matter, Lesson 6.
Right, and you click next to progress.
So this topic is going to first look at the polarity of bonds. Once we've examined that, we're going to shift focus and look at the rearrangement of atoms within a molecule. A very special theory is going to be addressed in this topic, referred to as Vesper theory. And we'll see how Vesper theory ties in together to give us a good detail of the molecular architecture of molecules.
So, as I
Okay, so we know what causes polarity within a bond. We know that if there are large differences in electronegativity between the bonds, between the atoms that are forming the bond.
And you can go through as well, right?
The first point of Vesper theory.
So this is an example of what the interface looks like. All right, and of course you have the video simulation as well. So this is the Vesper theory. Might take a little while to load. All right, if it's taking a while, we'll probably skip it. But basically, you have the video as well component, right, where you can actually look at videos. So the videos are to demonstrate as well the learning also, right? So again, these are the different aspects of the course. So you have images included within the slides as well as you have videos, etc. Right? I think it's just Wi-Fi issue that is preventing me from viewing it while showing my screen as well, right? So this is an example of what you would typically see. Let's go back to the presentation. So in terms of the learning management system, which we just looked at, right? If your child is doing the course, as a parent, you will have access to monitor your child's progress, see their marks as well, communicate directly with the teachers at any time. You have 24/7 access to courses evaluation. Emails are sent to share assessment, evaluation, and progress as well. So these are some of the things they have done. They've basically studied, right, the best aspects of learning management system, and they are basically using it now to work with students. And that is why their platform is so popular as well. There's a lot of reporting and tracking as well. For example, there's an online tracking tool, which is used to monitor your progress. It reminds students of any outstanding work. Students' success team to monitor and support students as well throughout their journey. Now, how will you be assessed? We talked about earlier on that there's a 70% assessment based on your term work, and there's a 30% final exam. Now, in terms of the term work, it may include assignments, essays, tests, portfolios, etc. Right? And then you have your final exam as well, which is a proctored final exam, which will be done at CTS. Right? Now, what support is available to you? If you enroll in the program, apart from having access to all the materials via the learning management system, right? All learning materials and textbooks, right? Go ahead, Bradley.
Quick question, right? You were saying that every course takes maximum, well, not really maximum, but you advise that you do it for 4 weeks, right?
Right.
So at the end of that 4 weeks, will we be given a test, exam, whatnot, to wrap up that course?
Yes, you will. So you will be doing the assessment within the course. And once you are ready to undertake that final exam, you would
Right.
advise us and we will schedule the exam. So you only schedule it when you are ready, right?
Okay,
So, you know,
understood.
unlike schools where when you go, you have a fixed date for the test and
Right.
you have to take it on that date. That's not the case here. You would
Okay.
schedule the test when you are ready to take the test, right? So therefore, the
Okay.
chances of failing, ideally, I won't think you will schedule a test if you're not ready for it, right? So therefore,
True.
based on that, the pass rate is usually a much higher. And that's why this method generally works well for many students, because with your typical school system, everyone has a date for the test. So whether you're ready or not, you have to take the test on that particular date. What I love about this system is that you get to choose when you're ready to take it. Right? So based on that, the chances of failing is much lower because ideally you would have been prepared.
Prepared
before.
well. Yeah, I understand. Okay, thanks.
All right. So apart from the materials and the textbooks that are included as part of OVS, you would have access to guidance and career counselor support as well. You'd also have a planning, pathway planning as well, and course selection support. So before you even select your course, we'll have a course selection, a meeting to help you with selecting your course. You'll have ongoing academic support as well provided by the Ontario Certified Teacher as well. Of course, there's an Ontario Certified Teacher assigned to the course, right? Then apart from that as well, you'll have one-on-one meeting times with the certified teacher. You'll have university career counselors included as well as assistance with university applications. So OVS assists you in applying to universities as well, especially if you're applying to Canadian universities, they assist you with the application process, all bundled within the whole program that you're signing up for. Now, in terms of freebies as well, naturally enrolling in a learning and online learning environment, and they have a lot of free courses that they typically throwing as well for persons. So you have like free university writing preparation, free health and wellness course, free digital literacy preparation course as well that they tend to give out or give away to students. Now, in terms of university application support, I indicated here that as part of the OVS program, they support students as well through their journey by assisting students with their university application, right? So they would have information on a range of universities as well, particularly in Canada, where a lot of their students are applying to as well. They will assist you with information gathering, backup support, program scans, and prerequisite assessment as well, right? Free university writing preparation course, health and wellness course, digital literacy preparation course as well. So all of these things they assist you with to help to increase your chance of getting accepted by the university. Because sometimes some of these universities don't just want, well, you apply, you have the grade, you get in, right? They want more as well. And therefore they assist you with the more part of it also to help you with your application. Now, if you're interested in starting, the question might be, well, when can I start? Well, here's the thing. The good thing about this is that you could start at any time. There's no specific starting point. So unlike most programs where there's a fixed start date, so we have a particular start date, there isn't with this. You choose when you want to start. You want to start next week? No problem. You want to start the week after? No problem. You determine when you want to start. You determine the pace at which you study. You determine when you write the exam, but know that once you start a course, you must complete the course within 1 year, right? But the thing is that we also recognize that sometimes students also need a measure of, like structure. So which is why we encourage students to try to finish the course in 1 month. So try to work with a completion time of 1 month so that you can achieve your aim of finishing the course in the required time. Of course, if you meet a more challenging course, then you can extend the time for that particular course. But not all courses will probably have the same level of challenge for you. Based on your background and what you fancy, you may find some courses might be easier for you than others, although all of them are generally at the same level, but you may have preferences for certain courses much more than others. Now, how much does this course cost, right? Well, first of all, if you're in Canada, you're now not necessarily in Canada, but if you have a Canadian student visa, you can get this at a lot cheaper cost, right? But once you don't have a Canadian visa, then you have to apply as an international student. The cost for an international student is $11.99 Canadian per subject or per course, right? Now, remember, you have to do 7, right? And we're assuming you're enrolling in grade 12. Now, that's quite a bit, right? So here's what we've done. We've worked with OVS now, and what they've done as a CTS, as a partner institution, when you apply for a course, naturally they benefit from the fees as well. What we have simply done, we have cut our fees from $11.99 to $6.99, and therefore this reduction comes from our part of the fees, simply to give you the course at the lowest possible price. So the special offer we have is where instead of paying $11.99 as an international student, you'll pay $6.99 per course, right? That's a saving of $500 Canadian dollars for each subject. So you're paying $6.99 Canadian, a saving of $500 Canadian dollars for each subject, and you have 7 subjects. So in total, you are saving 3,500 Canadian. So when we partnered with OVS, the cost of for each student was supposed to be $11.99. What we simply did, we said, here, cut it from our part. We will basically reduce our markup on the course so that our students can benefit from the course as well. So it's $6.99 per course you'll be paying, which is a saving of $500. Right now, how do you apply, etc.? Well, there are special conditions as well to receive the special offer, right? So what are the conditions to receive that special offer? Well, here's what. In order to get it at that discounted price, you must enroll and pay for at least 1 course. You must enroll and pay for just at least one course before the end of December. Now, when you are enrolling, you must use this referral code because you are enrolling on OVS website, right? So you are doing the enrollment on OVS website, but you must use the CTS referral code to get a discount. So once you apply this referral code, you will be able to get the discount. You also get a free course, short course on OVS as well. Now, what is the application process? So let me guide you a bit. So first you visit the Ontario Virtual School, their website, choose the courses you would like to take and add them to your cart. But my take on it is before you do that, we could probably discuss what you'd like to do, right? And then probably recommend, I would always recommend the easiest course, right? Then you proceed to the checkout page. Now, which one is the easiest course, by the way? When I had showed you the list of courses early on, and from that list, the recommended easiest course would be, let me just pull up this, right? The OLC 40. OLC 40 is the easiest course of all of them. So I would recommend you do the OLC 40, right? First, that's the easiest one. And then you can do the others, right? It's more like, English for secondary school students. It's more along the line of that. Sorry about that. I realized that my screen share just probably went off as well. So, but we're almost near the end as well. So for the application process, this is what you do. You go to OVS, you choose the course you'd like to start. And as I recommend, you can choose all 7, but I recommend start with 1, right? Then proceed to the checkout page. Then you can apply your international student button, right? When you click on the international student button, because you don't have Canadian, assuming you don't have a Canadian education visa, not a Canadian visa, but a travel visa, but a student visa, Canadian student visa, right? Then the price increases now to roughly the $11.99. And then once you enter the code, which is this code, the price will change to $6.99. And all you do now, complete the rest of the details on the page and select the payment button, whether it's credit card, PayPal, and you complete the process. And then you'll have access to the system and you'll have access to your unit, and then you begin your process. And that basically brings us to the end of our presentation. Not sure if you guys have any specific questions, comments, anything you'd like to add as well, right? Would you mind sharing? No, oh, sorry. Oh, just a second, my apologies. I was just going to answer a question from the chat. Hollis was asking, would Tobago students have to come to Trinidad for that summative assessment? Hollis, what we can do, if you're in Tobago, I could probably arrange for you to have the test in Tobago, right? The only thing though, I would have to pay an assessor in Tobago. So it may just have come with, well, ideally you'll have an invigilation cost for that. That's the only thing, but I can arrange that. That shouldn't be an issue. Right? David, I got your email address as well. So thanks also. Right? Cool. Okay. Anyone else? Questions? Jemuel, if we start, I wasn't sure what the full question was. I'm just seeing if we start. Okay, going to write the question. Now you could use the mic to ask as well. Feel free to use the mic to ask. Right?
Okay, well, I'll use the mic instead.
Yeah, I prefer using the mic.
Yeah. Would we still be able to get the so if we start one course in December, we would still be able to get the $500 off the course sales that we start after December, right? That's how it will work?
No, once you start, it will continue for the rest of your program. So once you start, right, let's say you start with one, for all the other courses, you'll get at 500 off each of the courses you do. But I don't want you just to sign up for all 7, pay for them, and then after realize, wait a minute, this is not what I want, etc. Right? So that's why I prefer you do one first and then afterwards. While I'm very confident you will like it, etc., and you will do well, right? Just in case, but I mean, it's totally up to you if you want to pay for all 7 of them, right? But once you do, you have 1 year. Once you sign up for all 7, the thing is you have 1 year to complete all 7, right? So just a note.
Oh, so we'll still get the $500 off for the courses after December.
You'll continue to get it. So even though you're signing up for just one in December, whenever you sign up for the others, you'll continue to get the 500 off.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Not a problem. Other questions? I'm seeing a raised hand, right? Anyone else? All right. So what I'll do, I will have the recording uploaded and then I will share it with you. I probably need about 2 hours because the video has to convert first and then I will upload it and then I'll share the link to the recording for you guys, right? Other questions, Bradley?
Okay, hi.
Bradley,
So I actually I'm in the process of signing up to do human and social biology with CTS at the moment, right? Because I have my 5 CXC passes and I wanted to go on to do nursing. Now, I'm not sure. I have to do a little more research on the school, that the Ontario school, right?
School, yeah.
That if they offer nursing there. But other than that, if I don't want to sign up with CTS to do the CXE, HSB, is it okay that I just sign up for the Canadian one, this one right here?
You can,
Is
yeah,
it?
no problem.
Yeah, so it's not mandatory that I do that. See that already, I have my 5 CXC passes.
It's not mandatory, but the thing is, if you're applying for nursing are you applying for nursing in Trinidad or only in Canada?
No, only in Canada.
Right, then it shouldn't be an issue then, right? You don't absolutely need it, right?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Just to answer some question on the chat. Well, actually before, I know someone else had their hand raised. I think that, right? Anyone else? I think Jillian or someone else had their hands raised as well, right? Okay. Jillian, did you have a question? All right, let me answer questions from the chat then, if that's the case, right? So if someone is a Canadian citizen, right? What will be the cost? Now, if you're Canadian citizen, then my recommendation would be to apply directly through OVS, right? And you should be able to get it at $5.99, which is cheaper than what you're paying through CTS, right? International students, what they do, if you're Canadian, you get it at a lower price than if you're outside of Canada. But the fact that you're Canadian citizen, I believe, I'm saying, I want to just clarify, Hollis, I believe that you will get it for the $5.99, because when you go on OVS website, you will be able to choose that you have a Canadian visa, right? Or you prove your citizenship and you'll be able to get the Canadian pricing, right? So that should take care of that. Now, Ariana's question, if you choose to start, do we go directly to OVS website and choose courses, or can we come to CTS first for guidance? So what I would recommend, I prefer if we have some guidance. So like Ariana, what I would do, I would recommend once you're ready, we can meet. We don't have to meet face-to-face. We can even meet via Zoom session. And we can then look at what you'd like to study. And then I could make some recommendation in terms of the courses you can choose, right, to study. My recommendation will be to choose the easiest one first, and then, but at the same time, we should have an idea what are the other courses you're going to study. So we can always do that online as a session between you and I. And if we need to involve, we can involve OVS as well if we require additional support or assistance as well, right? But I'd recommend you get some guidance rather than just arbitrarily go and choose, and you choose courses that may not be in line with what you want to do later on. In terms of Sandy's question, what if someone does not have a credit card or PayPal account? Sandy, unfortunately at this time, because it's online, you'll have to, you don't need to have a credit card, meaning your own credit card. You could pay someone else to use their credit card. So you pay them the equivalent in TT dollars, and you can have someone with a credit card assist you in signing up, right? So that's an option available to you. All right. I have, Michael, I got your email address. If you'd like to share your email address to ensure that you get the email after the session, I'm more than happy to. I indicated at the start that I would have sent an email to you all with the link for the session. If you got that email, then know that you will be getting the email with the recording as well. It will also include the slides, a PDF version of the slides as well, right? However, if you did not get any email from me with the a reminder of the session today, then I would recommend you put your email address on the chat so I can get it, and make sure you get the recording. Good. All right. The other question is, after finishing all courses, what is the process after? Once you finish all the courses, you'll get your Ontario Secondary School Diploma, right? And it's your choice from there, right? Meaning that whether you want to apply to migrate to Canada, or you could use it now to gain acceptance to university, right? Remember, this is basically the purpose of doing this is to gain a Canadian High School Diploma, which is equivalent to A-levels, which can get you into many Canadian universities and foreign universities as well, even in UWI and Trinidad. And it's just it's a much shorter program. Well, the challenge we have, Hollis, is that we have a lot of UK universities, and the problem is that because of the shortage of foreign exchange, our credit card, we have just one school credit card, right? And therefore, some of my staff use their credit card, but the problem is that they need their credit card as well if we have any problems, like to get fees for the university. So hence the reason why our credit cards are more tied up with those things, right? So, but because most students have access to credit card or know someone with a credit card, it's not too difficult. Worst case, if they cannot get access to someone, we would assist in providing that support. But it's not something that I typically would advertise, simply because we have such a limited amount of foreign exchange we get with our credit card, because the banks limit us to like 10, like Republic Bank, 10,000 US, and First Citizens just 7,500 US. And our advertising cost, because we do a lot of social media advertising, is much higher than those. So our credit card is already utilized for all of those things. So hence the reason why it's kind of difficult to commit to all of these others. But we're more than happy to assist. And if you're not getting someone to assist you with it, I can arrange to get someone to assist you, right? With the credit card part of it, if you're not getting someone. All right, cool. Any further question, guys? Well, I want to say a big thank you for your time, for taking time out today to be part of today's session. I really, truly appreciate your attendance. I'm going to send you stuff a little later on tonight in a few hours when I upload the video, etc., and I'll send the slides. If you have any further question, I'll include it in the email. So the email, you have my phone number as well, that you can reach out to me at any time. If you want to do more than 7 courses, of course, you can do much more than 7 courses. 7 is simply the minimum you can choose. And I'm sure OVS would love that for you to do more than 7 courses. So you can do as many as you like, but I would recommend do the mandatory ones to gain the high school diploma. And of course, you can add on any additional ones you wish to choose as well. All right. So you could get, I think, individual certificates for those other courses that you do. Guys, thank you so much. Have a blessed evening. And I look forward to liaising with you. Just a note as well, my phone number is 777-1294. It's at the bottom of the email I'm sending you as well. 777-1294. You can reach out to me anytime. Feel free to call me as well, right? You'll get a faster response. Okay, I'm more than happy to call you back if you wish. Cool? Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Much thanks and much appreciation for the information.
You're most welcome. All right. Aliyah, we've just finished the session, right? But I'm going to send the recording after. I know you've just joined. If you want to include your email address, I will ensure that you get a copy of the recording as well as a copy of the slides, etc. Okay? Thank you. Rhonda, it's wonderful seeing you here as well.
Thank you.
Hope all is well.
I
Yes,
apologize.
No, apologize for what? For being here? I'm grateful.
No, actually, I'm in Canada at the moment and it's 5 here. I forgot
Okay.
about the time
Time
difference.
difference. Sorry about that. So sorry. All right.
I'm so sorry. If you'd be able to send me it, I'm
Yes.
attaching my email.
Very good. Thank you so much,
Thank
Aliyah.
you.
Have a great day. Bye.